Hi, I'm Dr. April Dobson, and I'm very excited to have a special segment on tonight. And it's going to be a brief segment, but I want to talk about something. I was thinking about something earlier as it related to our destinations, our career plans, what we're doing in life. And I often, fly, I travel pretty frequently. And usually each time before departing on a flight, I hear an announcement that says, "Welcome aboard," whatever the name of the airlines is, and on this flight to whatever the destination is. So if you boarded a plane and you were intending to fly to Ontario and they said, "Welcome aboard this flight to Omaha, Nebraska," and you were heading to Ontario, would you stay on the plane? Well, more than likely, you probably wouldn't. You'd probably get off the plane because it's not going in the right direction. It's not going to your destination. And I think that, with certain things, we're very clear that we are not going to do something if it's not leading to our desired result, especially with travel and with aircraft. You wouldn't stay on an aircraft that's heading to Omaha if you were going to Ontario. And so just as you wouldn't do that with your travel, with your life, you shouldn't do it with your career. And I want to talk about specifically career plans on tonight. And many people have career plans, but they may not necessarily have a clear direction and clear steps on how they're going to achieve those career plans. And so I want to talk about a few things that can help you to ensure success with your career plan. And I think the first one is ensuring that your career plan is written down and it's written down succinctly. And I know in the federal government, when we talk about career development plans, oftentimes those are written and they're written on certain forms. And even if you don't have a specific form that your career plan is written on, I think you should have it succinctly written. I think vision, having a clear vision is very, very, very important. And, I even align with, the biblical approach to ensuring that the vision is written and that it's plain so that those who can read it can run. And so when you have a career and you're intending on achieving the outcomes that you would like to achieve, it's important that you have everything succinctly written. And so you want to think about, where do you desire to be with your career? What's the timeline? So you want to go to those SMART goals. You want to be specific. You want to make sure it's measurable. You want to make sure it's attainable, it's relevant, and that it's time bound. All of those things are very important. So as it relates to your career plan, you want to be able to identify that. And you want to also articulate the milestones that are important for you to achieve. For some career goals, it's important to have a plan on which positions you want to hold between your current position and the position that you ultimately want to attain. Now, one of the things that I know that people often do, and I believe it's not the correct approach, people often will say, "Okay, I've been in this career, so this is the progression that I should take, or this is what I should be aiming towards because of the careers or positions that I've held." And I think that you want to take a moment to reflect on what is it that you really desire. There are a lot of people who are in professions that don't align with their purpose and that don't align with what they're passionate about and what they desire. So you do want to take a moment to reflect and assess, are you aligned with your purpose? Are you doing something that aligns with what your purpose to do and what you're passionate about? That is key. And if not, you want to identify how you can best make that transition. And I think once you've, done that, you've made that assessment, you've determined how you can make that transition, it's important that you reassess from time to time just to make sure you're going in the right direction. And I think it's also important to have the right resources. I think that There are resources in terms of courses, books. There's even, associations and groups that you can join. And I also think it's important to have mentors. It's important to have several mentors who can help to guide you, someone who has successfully achieved what you're working to achieve in your career or your profession or your business. And I think it's also good to intermittently have informational interviews. I think that's very important because that can help to give some additional insight. People who also are successfully doing what have done or doing what you desire to do from a professional standpoint. And I think you want to go into those informational interviews with questions that are written down, and you want to take notes. And I think it's always important to ask the right questions. You can ask, what is something that they learned that they didn't know before embarking on that particular industry or that particular profession or business. You can also ask, what are some things that are essential for anyone who has a desire to either progress into that opportunity or progress into that role, or what is essential for someone who is pivoting into that profession or that role, or who's launching a business that is related to that type of business. And then I also think it's great to join communities. And so this has just been a few things that I think that you want to consider when you are thinking about your career plan, when you're assessing if you're going in the right direction. And so again, it's very important to have a clear written goal that lays out the vision that you have for your career plan, that is specific, measurable, and you have something that is attainable, something's relevant, and it's time bound. You want to also have milestones that are associated with what you're hoping to achieve. You also want to reassess from time to time to make sure you're going in the right direction, ensure that you're achieving the right milestones. And you want to also have resources, both, a variety of resources. You can, again, have books, you can have courses. There's even like YouTube videos, there's communities, and also having mentors who can help to guide you along the way. Coaches are also great to have. And then, of course, doing the informational interviews from time to time. So I hope this has been beneficial for you. If you want additional information on resources to help you to grow your career, to help you with, with pivoting, then I encourage you to also join the Purpose Professionals community. The community offers an abundance of resources for you, and the community has an opportunity for you to network with like-minded professionals who are also intentional about their profession. So there's a QR code that's on the screen that you can scan, and it takes you directly to the Purpose Professionals community on Skool. But I wish you continued success in your career, in all that you do, and encourage you to remain purposeful about everything that you do today and every day. So thank you for taking time to view this video, this live, and I again wish you all success.